let me know.
So Michael, tell us a little bit about your life story.
Well, basically I was born with a rare genetic disorder called Cowden's disease. It's known as a multiple hamartoma syndrome, which is precancerous. Since a young age, my first operation started at 7. I had operations on my eyes because I had polyps at the back of my eyes. I've had countless operations to remove tumours, and I've got scars all over my body. I went to have my tonsils out because I had a tumour on them at a young age, and my artery had burst. I ended up in a coma for 4 days because I was in a deep, bad way and I nearly died.
At what age was that?
That was actually at the age of 14.
Okay.
Now basically I've had constant surgeries throughout the years. I've had multiple cancer scares, and I've had multiple tumours removed. In the past 2 years I went to have my thyroid removed because I had problems with temperatures. I kept on getting high fevers. So my ENT specialist decided, let's just get it out because it was causing so much grief. My girlfriend was away, went with her mum to Greece. My parents were at home as normal. My sister and brother-in-law went to Greece also, funny enough, Kefalonia. So I decided while everyone was away, because it was a routine op, to go have it taken out. Well, it was a good thing, but it was kind of a big mistake also. Basically, I went to have it out, routine operation, and while I was in recovery, my girlfriend, bless her, showed up because she didn't want to be in Greece while I was having an operation done. While we were talking, I suddenly couldn't breathe, and I was gasping for air. And basically, my artery had burst, and I was in a bad way. My neck swelled right up, literally like a square, and to the point my chest was building up with blood. They called back the surgeon, but the surgeon was taking time to come back, and I'll no lie when I say this, but I was seconds away from death. It got to the point where doctors were building up in the anaesthetic room, and I gave my girlfriend a kiss goodbye because it looked like I was going. Basically, they were threatening to have to cut my chest open because the doctor was taking too long to come back. It then ended up that finally he walked through the door and they put me to sleep. Now what was incredible is that I'm not a spiritual person, well I wasn't anyway, but suddenly out of nowhere, from looking up at the doctors, I was suddenly looking down at me. And next to me was my grandfather, who I loved very much, and he was a great guy. And he was talking to me and he gave me a hug and he said, I was watching everything while it happened, and he told me that this is going to be a big test for me and I've got to pull through it because it's not my time yet. So after a long catch up, as if we were sitting in a cafe, I blinked. He gave me a kiss, and as I blinked, my eyes opened up and I'm in intensive care in Northwood Park Hospital. And my dad was there, and my dad looked at me and he goes, hello son, wakey wakey, and woke up, and he told me what had happened. And I looked back at him and I said, but I can tell you what the anaesthetic was wearing on her shoes. And it was incredible.
You mean the anaesthetist, yeah?
Sorry, the anaesthetist, yeah. And it was incredible because I was right and no one could believe it. But while I was in that coma, apparently my artery had burst 3 more times. And I was ready. Because obviously being Jewish, they want to bury us the next day. They actually told my family to prepare for my funeral. But it got to the point where I pulled through.
And what age was this?
This was 2 years ago.
2 years ago, okay.
Yeah. Now, basically, ever since then, I suddenly realised that God was looking down on me. And there must be a God up there because my grandfather definitely came to see me. And ever since then, I've kept my faith. And I've always kept my faith over the years, obviously, but the past 2 years I've been more faithful to God because it's amazing. I walk down the street and I'm singing my heart out. People think I'm a lunatic. I probably am a little bit. I sing away because I'm so happy to be alive. And I have all my treatment, and yeah, I get days where I'm very down, who doesn't? But I won't be human if I didn't. But I've just realised that I can use my life to show other people what can happen if they don't reach out and grab life while they got the chance. Because people just don't realise that we're on this planet for a really short time. And it's so useless to waste it. It's just not right. And I decided if people know about my health and see what can happen if they don't enjoy life, they'll realise that instead of saying I'll do this tomorrow, they'll get up and do it today. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Tell me a bit more about how you can maintain a positive outlook in the face of such incredibly challenging health issues.
How do I put this? Let me put it to you this way. I suffer with not being able to sleep. But when I have an operation, I look forward to it because they're putting me to sleep, so I get a good night's rest, if that makes any sense. But I keep a positive outlook because I've realised that I've been fighting for my life now for 15 years altogether. And yes, alright, the cancers haven't really helped. But the fact of the matter is that I've realised that if I was supposed to die, I've walked hand in hand with the Grim Reaper for so long that he would have taken me by now. And I know that my time is cut short, but the fact is that what I've got now is worth enjoying. I don't want to waste any more time. So I see life as a positive because I wake up and if I'm breathing, I know that's a reason to smile. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Tell me about your experience with marijuana recently.
Okay.
Because I know that I've seen the incredible number of pills and medications.
Yeah,
that
like
you,
a pharmacy.
Yeah.
Sorry. But, basically, a friend of mine helped me because I suffer with a lot of pain, obviously, because of all the surgeries I've had. I've got muscle problems, muscle damage, basically. And I wasn't being able to sleep. I was up all night constantly. At one point, I'll be up for weeks. And a friend of mine helped me out. He brought me some, and I tried it. It is incredible. I fell asleep so peacefully, and I didn't feel any pain, and I was in heaven. They've got me on this stuff called OxyContin, which is basically a morphine tablet, but it's morphine, mainly morphine, but it's a long-lasting relief. I'm on 300 milligrams a day, and this stuff can kill me that easily. Only a few puffs of marijuana, and I was fine. And it shows you that maybe, I can't remember if the stuff's illegal or you're allowed to have a little bit or whatever the law is, but it shows you that this stuff can really help people like me, because in the past few days I was able to go away for a couple of days. I went to this lovely hotel in Buckinghamshire. I was in heaven. And yeah, I took it with me because I didn't want to get into pain there and not be able to sleep. But you know, it was just incredible. I was able to sleep, and you know, people don't realise just how much a good night's sleep really helps. And I woke up and I called him the following day, if he remembers, and I said to him, you know, thank you so much. I was in heaven. I woke up and I felt like a different person. You know, I didn't do it because I wanted the high. I did it because I wanted to feel better. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, and I think, you know, I doubt anybody watching this would think that you should be deprived of feeling relief and getting sleep and relaxation. Anything else you want to say? I've thought that it would be wise for everybody to make a video as a legacy, no matter how old you are, no matter whether you're ill, no matter whether you're well, because none of us know how long we're here for, that's for sure.
Yeah, to leave a mark on the world.
So if was, if this is a legacy or a partial legacy to your family, to your friends, to anybody out there, to people who watch, YouTube.
Sorry,
What else? What else would you like to add? Anything else you'd like to say about your life? Yeah, it's fine. What else would you like to say about your life, about life itself?
Well, what I would like to say is recently I've got to know great kindness. You see, when I got ill, I backed away from the community because I was ashamed at one point that I would be looked at as the ill person, the reputation of being someone very sick. But I came back to the community only recently, and I must tell you that people have seen the way I keep myself happy and the incredible amount of friends that I've made in such a short period. I mean, I don't call them friends, they're like brothers and sisters to me, and they've become my family. And I've realised that, what's the old saying, treat people how you want to be treated. And I've treated people with nothing but respect, and I've been given respect back. And it means the world to me to know that I'm looked at as a human being and not looked at as a disease-ridden person. But I must say that at the end of the day, if people want happiness, it doesn't just come to you. If you want it, you've got to open the door, walk out and grab it. If you want something, if you want to find the woman you love and marry her, go for her. Don't get scared to ask her to marry you. What's the worst she can say is no. Just enjoy life. There's no point just sitting around on your backside doing nothing. Just get out there, reach for your dreams, and I can tell you truthfully that if you reach for them and you work hard for them, you will get them without a doubt. You may not get them straight away, it may take you years to get them, but the end result is always worth it, if that makes sense.
What about a message for your family?
The message for my family is that I adore them, and I'm always going to be grateful for everything they've done for me, and the way they've always been by my side through hard times and through dreadful times, and especially to my father, because he's sat with me at times where, basically where they just told him that I wasn't going to make it. And my father sat next to me and he just smiled at me and he said, "You're going to be okay." And he had faith in me, like I've got my faith in God again. And he had faith that I'm not going to give up and that I could never repay him, because that's an amazing quality to have in anyone. And I love him for it, and he knows that. And I've always said thank you. And I've always said I'm grateful to anyone who's shown me kindness. I may not be able to repay it, but I've always been grateful. And in his case, he knows just how grateful I am. And, well, I guess that's it, really.
Thank you.
My pleasure.